Terry Caliendo, Dedicated Managers, back for video number 12 it looks like we're at. In the last video, I showed how to insert custom data from a custom field types. So that was, we were looking at here, we were able to, this is the tour page, so let's go back to here. Tour dates was the custom plugin, the custom post type, and this was the data on it, really the date and time of the show, and we were bringing that in through Oxygen using the Oxygen way to import it, dynamic data. So now we need to reach out to back to the tour date, and we need to get the venue information, and we can't get that directly. We actually have to pull this, and then the object within that, when we pull it using custom fields code that comes with it, which I'll show, that pulls in an object that we can then query to get the venue information. So ultimately, we're trying to get, this is the development site. I'm back on the development site, or the production site, I'm sorry. I'm back on the production site, and this information here is pulled from the venue information, which, as I've said a million times, you can't get directly. So we're going to have to write some code to do that. And in order to do that, we're going to have to create a plugin. Now, the Oxygen does have a code block that we can insert. And let's see, did that insert? Where did it go? And just insert that code block in the page, and then we can go in here and do some code right in here. This code, though, is in the scope of the loop, and for some reason I pulled it out. I can't remember exactly why. I guess I'll have to talk about it in the future, but it wasn't working in here for some reason. Oh, that's right. When we go to call a function from here, when we go to insert data and click call a function, that function is not available if it's built in this code block, because this code block is at a lower scope. It's within the loop context. So for some reason they just haven't hooked those up. I'm sure they'll in the future hopefully hook it up. But for now we got to create a custom plugin and just put our code at the global level. So to do that, I'm going to pull up my FTP editor here. I'm using Visual Studio Code and a plugin called FTP Simple. You can look up how to do that. I'm not going to get into how to set all that up, but ultimately just set up an FTP connection to your server. Here I am in the plugins directory of my WordPress installation, and you can see here's all the plugins that I have installed, mainly Oxygen. We talked about the easy YouTube embed, custom post types, and custom fields. So those are all the plugins that we're seeing. That if you're fairly new, that is, that's this type of stuff. Well, that's really this plugins. And ultimately, when a plugin's installed, it starts showing up in the menu there. So back here, we need to create a directory to create our new plugin, and it's real simple. We're just going to create a new plugin, and I'm going to call this DMI for Dedicated Managers Custom Functions. And then within that folder, we simply create a new file, and we call it the same name, DMI Custom Functions.php. And then there's just one little piece of code we put in there. Put this in there, which is just PHP and a comment that has the plugin name, and that's what you want to call the plugin. And now if I save this, so there it is saved, and I go back to our WordPress installation. Whoops. Let's see, where is the WordPress installation? This is it here. And if we go to plugins, I'm going to open this in a new window. And since the directory is there and it is installed, we should see it. Hang on one second, I got to figure out this because I've forgotten. I thought it should show up here. All right, I think I found the problem here. My the FTP hadn't finished downloading all the plugin directory there. So now I think I've got it. If I go and delete this file and it comes back, nope, it's still missing. Oh, there it was. All right. So yeah, it's there. Let's try again. One more time. I'm going to open this up and it's going to load it. There we go. So now that the file actually didn't save before, so it wasn't there. So now when I refresh it, we should get bum-ba-da-bum, nothing. Oh, but wait a second. There it is, inactive 2. There it is, DMI custom function. So that's matching my plugin name. So that's really all you need to create a plugin, is just to put a directory, a file with the same name, and then a plugin name in comments at the top of the file. That gets us started, so we want to activate that. And now we've got an active function. So now if we go back to all, I'll see my custom functions right there. So now we can start programming in our development environment, and that stuff will start to show up in the code. Okay, took a break there. Had to find the code. So I'm not going to rewrite this code right now. I'm just going to copy and paste some code in, and then talk about how to use it. So this is the code to, it's a function I created that we're going to call from Oxygen. And basically, we're going to be able to pass in a field key, and we'll be able to get that field. Get field is a function on the custom fields. It's a global function they make available for you to get those fields back that you're using. And I'll get into all this stuff later, but basically what I'm doing is I'm going into that post, and I'm going to get the venues associated tour dates. All right, whoops. Yeah, that's wrong. I don't want to do that one. That is the wrong function. I want to pull in another function, which I'm copying here, and I'm going to paste. So this is what I want, is the tour date function. So the stuff I can get from the tour date. So basically, I've got some special case stuff here that I'll talk about later. But basically, I'm going and getting that child venue field. Remember, in our tour date, this field we called child_venue. If we go back to custom fields and we go to the field groups and look at the tour date information, the venue is keyed by child_venue. So that's what I'm doing here, is I'm getting that child venue into an object here, and then going and getting the field that's sent in back from the get field. So the way it works is you call this function, you tell it a key. In our case, it's going to be if it's something on the venue side. So let's go look at the field groups for the venue. So let's say we want to get the venue name. So venue name will come in here. Venue_name will be what this variable is. And we're going to say that it's a venue. This is a cheap thing that I did to make it easy to determine whether I'm trying to look up a local tour date or I'm trying to get the associated venue information. So we're going to pass in venue name, and venue is going to be true. It defaults to false, but we're going to make it true when we pass it in. And so that's going to, it's going to skip over this because the key is not that. And it's going to say if it is venue, or if it's not is venue, return the field. That's not what we're doing. Venue is going to be true, which means we're going to run the else statement here. And so we're going to go and get the field child venue, which is the child venue field that points to the venue. Child venue is on the tour date, and so it's going to point to the tour venue custom post type. And then once we get in there, if we find it, this is if we don't find it, no venue found, But if we do find that child venue, if there is one set, then we get the field on that child venue based on the venue ID. So I pull that venue ID off of what I found there. So basically, this little function here, again, I'll go into it in better detail at some point, hopefully. But just know that this function is a function that I've created that allows me to dig down a second level into that venue information from the tour date and pull out one of its keys. I know that wasn't extremely clear what I just showed there, but you know, basically, I just want you to know at this point that there's a function you can call in a custom plugin. So we've created that custom plugin and created a function that we can call from Oxygen. So let's go back to Oxygen here. Now that we've got that that installed, actually I probably have to save it. So I will make sure it saves. All right, I lost train of thought there. My son knocked on the door and I had to take a pause there, but I think hopefully what's happening here is understandable. Remember, we've got the custom plugin here. We created a function that we're going to call from within here. So let's go into here. I saved the file. That's what I went back to do. And so now I'm going to create a new field. Let's call, where did we want to put it? Like we wanted to put the venue name, right? So let's add a new text field. We could make it a heading if we wanted to. Could make it anything we want. And we're going to give that dynamic data. And so now, obviously, like I said before, we can't get that data from the custom field because we're in the tour date, and we need a tour venue information associated with that tour date. And Oxygen can't dig down like that. So that's why we created our function. So now we're going to get that function name. I already forgot what it is. We're going to copy that function name and then paste it in here. And then remember the arguments I said were we wanted venue underscore name and the one for true. Actually, I guess I could put true. And venue name, I'm not sure if venue name needs to be in quotes. Hang on one second. I'm guessing it doesn't, so let's give it a try. So there it is. Let's exit out and see if we get something to work. And there it is. It popped through. So the function worked. We called the function. We told it was a venue. Go and search the venue and pull back that venue information. So now it's just a matter of each of the other fields. Now we want to get the venue, city, and state. So we can do that. We can do add another. We'll just make this one a text field. And we will do the same thing pretty much. Insert data. PHP function. See if I've still got that copied. So that's the function we want to call. And this time we want to get the venue. City. Actually, venue made. Yeah, we'll just do city on this one. Venue city. Actually, this would probably be the major city, but for now I'm just going to retrieve the venue city. And again, this is a venue information, so I'm making my code easy rather than trying to auto-detect it. I'm just telling it, go and search that subfield. So that's that there. When we click that, there it is. It shows up. And now we want to add the state, so you can just go right in here and continue typing. And we can do that again. So we'll do this, we'll get this, and venue underscore state, true or 1 we can put there. And now when we click off, there it is. And now we can go and style that up, get it how we want it to look. You know, however we want it to look. I've gone over styling in other videos. I'm not going to do that again. So basically you can see now that we've created you know, 2 custom post types. We've created 2 custom post types, tour dates and tour venues. We related the tour dates to the tour venues, and we showed the tour date information easily, and then we had to write a custom plugin function to show the associated venue information. So that's about it for this video. Hopefully it was not too, hopefully it was understandable. Again, Terry Caliendo, Dedicated Managers. This is our channel here. Please give us a subscribe, trying to get to 100 subscribers. for a special little thing that we'll celebrate. Not a huge deal, but something fun to celebrate. And if you want to reach us on the website, if you've got a project that you're looking for some help with, just need a piece of advice, or looking for a contractor, looking for somebody to do something for you, feel free to give us a call. Hit us up on the contact page here at Dedicated Managers. So again, Terry Caliendo, subscribe, follow. I think I said everything I wanted to say. Take care, have a great day, and happy coding.